Aloha guys, Gilbert Chris here. Now when I go ultra light to me means 2 or 4 pound test. Now a lot of people here in Hawaii would generally stick to the 4 pound mono, but mono does stretch and it has a very low breaking point. Whereas if I was to go, say this one here, this is ultra cast. Ultra cast to me is the best braided 4 pound line out there because it's so thin. It is probably as thin as a human hair, and the breaking strength of this 4 pounds is actually at 14 pounds. So that's pretty good. So this is why I choose this brand. So unlike Dyneema and Spectra braided lines, those lines will float. This one here will sink. Now, what are the advantages to this? Well, first off, the floating line is good for certain species that, like trout, that they're zooming up. They're looking at winged creatures that are flying just barely over the water, sitting on the water. So that's good for the freshwater guys, targeting fish that are going for insects on the surface, but I'm here in Hawaii. I'm going for saltwater species that are under the surface. So using this line is better because this line sinks. Because it sinks, you need less weight to get that hook, the lure or the hook, further down in the water column. So that's another plus to this. Plus, with the braid here, braid doesn't stretch like mono, so you just have to give just a quick tug to set the hook. Whereas mono does flex, you have to give it a little bit more than a tug to set that hook. Now, the typical standard is 164 yards. This one here is twice that at 328. So, I would prefer to get the 328 if you can find it. So, when you're saying, oh, what are you going to do with 328 yards? You're going to be wasting a lot of line that you just don't need because you're getting all the way down, right, in the spool. But I have a cheapo line counter that you can get almost anywhere online. And when I spool it, I put on roughly half of this so I can get 2 fills, which is good. So this is a 500 reel. See that the line went to the top. This has that 4 pound on it. Look at that. Look how thin this line is. See that? Look how thin. It's like it's like human hair. Look at that. And the obvious benefits is that because braid is thinner for 4 pound test, if you get the braid, it'll obviously hold more line on your spool than mono will. Makes sense. But somebody's saying, hey, the fish can see braid, which is true. They can see braid. A lot of certain fish species have good eyesight, and especially in clearer water, it's going to be even more so. But since this line is so thin, and I've used it now for almost 2 years, I know what this line is capable of. I can go and fish for a coolie, which is called big eye scat, has really big eyes. Nighttime, there's no problem getting them because it's at night, the fish won't see the line. But during the day, the coolie has such big eyes, they can see even 4 pound mono. But this line, they can't see because I've been catching it for a while during the day. Plus, I like the fact, besides I have more line on my reel, that because it's so thin and with less air resistance, I can cast a lot further so I can get my jig or lure out to where the fish is. That's the biggest benefit. These are available in 4 to 100 pound tests and in spool sizes of 164 to 2,188 yards. It's pretty good, right? And they're available in two colors, either camel green or camouflage, which is whitish invisible.